Hello, can you hear me? Hi, Q. Okay, then let's get started. We're going to do something completely different tonight. We're not doing anything game related. We are doing an art stream tonight. I used to do sketches on request at meetup parties many years ago, but I haven't done any sketching since the convention we used to go to every summer decided they were going to not do anymore. So it's been a couple years since I sketched. So tonight I'm going to practice sketching. Let me switch over to my camera. Alright, let's line up the paper for the first picture. And let me go ahead and put in the information for this sketch. The first picture sketched on our channel is going to be a Pokemon called Eevee, which is my what my Twitch name is based on. So for requester, that would be me. And the fandom will be Pokemon, of course. So yeah, now that we have our information on what the first picture is, let me go ahead and start drawing. Do you think my camera's at a decent angle? And okay. Yeah, that's not quite right. Hold on. My camera is backwards. Yeah, but that's going to show you upside down, isn't it? Oh, crud. Do I have it? Give me one moment, because I don't see the camera setting that I need. Okay, give me a moment. Actually, that's about as close as we're going to get, I think. That might work. We're going to give this setting a try. Alright, let me go ahead and start drawing Eevee now. Overhead camera, I don't know how we would wire that in this room. I don't think that will work, but let's start Eevee. Let's start our first sketch. And when I used to draw ponies, I would always start with the ears. Usually with animals, I do the head first, and the ears are a good place to start because sometimes they have a bit of detail. And I'm not gonna do much shading tonight. This is more of a practice, see if I still got the magics kind of stream. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, looks like we're off to a pretty decent start here. I'm out of practice, so it's not going to be, my pictures tonight are not going to be perfect. But good enough is good enough for tonight. I think I drew that eye too big. And when you draw an eye too big, you have to keep it symmetric and do the other one the same way. That's okay. Like I said, out of practice. And it's going to look good anyway, so I guess the eyes I do have to shade a little bit. And actually, the way I have the camera set now, it's showing the pretty much the same orientation that I'm actually sitting at, which is a good thing. You can see that I'm a lefty through this camera angle, whereas the other camera angle I had set up before was it flipped it and made me look like a righty. But no, I'm definitely a lefty, and I'm glad I was able to make the camera account for that. Alright, we've got eyes. And there, the first animal head drawn on my stream ever. How does that look so far, in your opinion? Let's move on with the body. Like I said, out of practice. It's not going to be perfect tonight. Evie's little fur collar is a bit pain to draw, but it's not like when I had to draw Rarity's hair. Rarity's mane when I was doing pony art. I might do some pony art later tonight. We'll see how I feel. Ah, that's a bit bigger and fuzzier than Evie usually has. Maybe this is an Eevee VMAX? Anyway, so there's a little paw coming off. And then here's another little paw going on this side. And yeah, I know my proportions are a little bit off today. Like I said, out of practice. But I'll be doing art streams probably about... I used to like sketching. It's a bit therapeutic, so I might do this about once a week. It's a nice break from all the game-related streams that I do. So maybe once a week art streams. Maybe more if I feel like it. Let's do this back leg here. And then there's a line that comes in like this. And Eevee is still missing something. He is missing his big, giant, bushy tail. Eevee's such a cute fluff ball, isn't he? Or she. Eevee can be either. And there. I think the first sketch on stream is just about done. What do you think? And also, do you think the pen is showing up okay on camera? Not terrible. That's what I was going for tonight. Actually, not terrible is pretty good for being out of practice and not having sketched in 2 years. So now I'm going to set up for the next picture. But first, let me know how you think the pen looks. Or do you think the camera's picking up the pen nice enough? Oh, hi! You like my Eevee? This is the first sketch I've ever drawn on stream. I'm a new streamer, and this is my first ever art stream. May I call you Fizz? Is that a good way to pronounce that? Okay, let me pull up a source, a reference for the next thing I want to draw. Alright, I'm pulling up a reference. Flea, got it. Okay. What reference do I want to use? This character has a lot of different poses available. We'll go... Well, that's not a full body shot. Never mind. Why is it so hard to find a good reference? Okay, he's got a little bit of a... That's not a full body either. Good enough. We'll do this as the reference. Alright. I found a reference. Let me go ahead and set up his info. And... Because I don't think I have to put in the subtitle. I think everyone knows his name by now. Because, I kind of have to. Because every self-respecting artist these days has to do Grogu. Okay. Wow. For him, I kind of do want to start with the middle of the head rather than the ear, I think. And I'm going off of a photograph, so this is not going to be as good as the Eevee. I generally do animals a little bit better than humanoids, but I have done humans in the past. Grogu's a little alien critter though, so he kind of falls in a middle area between human and animal. So, Flea, I might be taking requests later, but I promised Q he could have the first 2 requests after these first 2 sketches. We'll see how I feel later, because I don't know how long I'll be streaming tonight. The way I do sketches, it's kind of a knock them out quick kind of sketch. I'm that kind of sketch artist. I do sketches like spontaneously. I don't sit down and I plan a picture. I'm not that kind of artist who really does in-depth artwork. I'm more of a quick sketch, make art kind of guy. I generally shade the eyes, but I don't usually take the time to shade anything else with these quick sketches. I just drew the eyes uneven. That comes from being out of practice. I can... Yeah, let's make this eye a little bit bigger to put them at least on the same line. Alright. Let's do... And Baby Yoda is a character that takes a little bit of practice. So this first picture is not going to be the most perfect. Yeah. Now he just looks like generic alien. Well, I've come this far, I may as well finish it. Even though it doesn't actually really look like him. Perfection comes with practice. You don't get that after not practicing for 2 years. I'd say it doesn't look horrible, but it doesn't look nearly as good as the Eevee did. Let's draw the rest of his little collar thing here. Alright. Oh, that collar is badly proportioned. There's his little neck. There's... Okay. He has little wrinkles on his head. That's good enough for the wrinkles. Let's start drawing the shoulders of his robe and the arms. Well, I drew that too long. He's almost an adult proportion arm there. Sorry about that. That's what practice streams are for. The more of these art streams I do, the better I'll get, right? Alright. And then he has a little cuff there. Some wrinkles in the fabric. Alright. Other sleeve. And there's some wrinklage going on in the fabric on this side too. Let's draw his little hand. Give me one moment. Alright, sorry about that. Alright. Yeah, so now let's draw the rest of this robe coming in. And there's some fabric lines here. And he has the robe goes down to the ground in the source image. So let me just extend out some of these fabric lines. And fabric lines are another thing that I'm going to need to practice, because that doesn't really come up with the subject matter that I did most of my sketching with in the past. Alright, good enough for now. I mean, it's a terrible Grogu, but for being out of sketch practice for 2 years, it could have been more terrible. Alright. Wow. Alright, well, let's leave that on screen until Q picks the next character. Q caller, have you thought about what 2 requests you want to make? Here, we'll put both of them on screen. I want to read. There's a link to an interesting looking article. I want to read it after stream. Q caller. Alright, I sent you a message, Q caller. It's not perfect. The reference image I used, he has kind of his little half smile thing that he does going on. But yeah, out of practice. These things will take time. Actually, there's a few the reference image has a couple more lines around his nose, a bit more like that. I should stop playing with this. It's not going to be made any better, but I don't want to make it worse. Anyway. So, Q caller, you have a couple of requests. Go ahead and... Cheshire Cat. Okay. Okay. Let me go ahead and fill that in. And in order to make it fit, I'm just going to call it Disney. I'm not going to put in the whole name of the movie. Sketch requester. And sketched. The name is Cheshire Cat. I might have time to put in Alice. Let's give that a try. How's that look? Okay, good enough. Alright, let me get a source image. This will actually be my first time ever drawing a Disney character. Okay, what source do I want to go with? Wow, his stripes are trippy. That might be a bit distracting as I draw. Wow, he's got a lot of detail on the face. Alright, let me pick a good source. This one's good, because it covers up yeah. Okay, the stripes are a little trippy on this, oh boy, his name is too big. I didn't even see that. Alright. This might take me a little while. And luckily, he doesn't need to have his eyes shaded, unlike most characters, because his eyes are yellow with little black dots, at least according to this reference image. You just had to choose a character with a lot of trippy patterning to try and trip me up a bit, didn't you? Well, on the face, there's not so much of the patterning. I can probably do the face. It's gonna go to hell once I leave the face, though. Alright. And now we start with the harder parts of the image. Starting with this big, giant grin thing he has going on. Okay, that's a little uneven, but that's okay. This is a relatively difficult character. Sven, I might do him next stream. I like Sven. Cheshire Cat's seen better days, I'll tell you that right now. Alright, and then he has these little ear things that in this reference image, the angle he's at almost looks like a bow. Alright. Okay, I don't think I can salvage this. I have absolutely no problem with Frozen. I love Frozen. Both of them. Yeah. He looks kind of bad. Sorry about that. But you don't get better if you don't try difficult characters, right? Well, he's got a face now. Alright. Let's see. In order to get the body up, and then it shows the tail coming around like this. And then we start with the stripes on the tail. I'll do the tail stripes, I'll finish the tail, and then I'll come back around and work on the body some more. I'll leave that as is. Okay, that stripe might be a little too wide. Stripes were never a thing I had much practice with. That's good enough for tonight, I think. Now let's see. I just have to draw. Okay, he's got little hands tucked up under his face in this reference image. So I gotta draw that real quick. Got little claws on his fingers. I may have drawn those hands a bit too big. Whatever. Let's keep going. So, stripes on this arm. And then this arm goes up. And into the tail like that. And then the body comes down around here. Stripes on this arm. Hey, I know cats' hands are technically called paws, okay? But in the heat of the moment, I'm not really focused on fishing for the right word. I just say what comes naturally, okay? I'm trying to be more focused on drawing these lines relatively okay. I do like sketch night, though. I think this is going to be a thing I do regularly on stream. But I like splitting it between me picking and having requests. Wow. His stripes are a trippy mess. Well, yeah, let's draw one more stripe over here. There we go. What do you think? Hey, Q caller. Hey, what? Hey, thank you. All right, Q caller. I promised you one more request. I'll leave this up until you send that through. Yeah, he's kind of a trippy character. I like. I need to watch Alice again, both versions. It's been many years since I've watched either version. And the live action movie they did about 10 years ago, there was a appearance by a dragon called Jabberwocky at the end. He was voiced by the guy who did Count Dooku in Star Wars and Saruman in Lord of the Rings. The Jabberwock was an epic dragon. Anyway, Q caller, I'm waiting for your other request, and then we'll move on to the next sketch. Sweetie Belle, I had a feeling you were going to say that. And actually, Sweetie Belle is not a pony that I ever got a lot of requests for back at the Brony meetups. So, I think, let's see. Do you mind if I do her pre-cutie mark, or do you absolutely want the cutie mark on there? Because I mean, for most of the show's run, they didn't have marks. Yeah, that's not it. I'm looking for a good reference. Hold on. Alright. This reference image doesn't have the mark on it, so I'll draw her without the mark. And with ponies, I almost always start with the ear, just because it gives me a good reference point to work from. Okay, I'd better do a little more of the head before I get too far into the mane. Okay, ears gotta come down a little more, and then I can draw this line across. And now I gotta do the face. I did many pony sketches on request back at the meetup parties. Fond memories. That was so many years ago, though. I guess I gotta do the eyes. And Thank you for not choosing rarity. I really didn't want to deal with that mane today. And then I know that as I work, sometimes my arm covers the work that I do. That just comes with the territory of being an artist on camera. That's why I leave the picture up for a minute after I finish each one. As my arm moves, you can see how the pictures come together. I miss drawing ponies, but I want to draw so much more as well. But hey, I've already had a productive evening. I've done Star Wars, I've done Pokemon today, I've done Disney, and now I'm doing My Little Pony. I have to figure out how I want to show off the pictures that I do on the art stream, because it would be nice to put these pictures online somewhere for all my fans to see. And pretty soon, I've actually been self-teaching piano, guitar, a little bit of singing. So pretty soon, I might start doing some of my music lessons live. But don't come to my music show if you're looking for quality entertainment, because I'm not very good yet. All right. So with that, we can start drawing her body. And with that mane in place, with that hoof in place, I can draw the rest of her mane. Give me a moment. My phone just vibrated. And now we can draw the rest of her body. And we'll go ahead and put in the other hoof. And now we'll draw the tail and the back hoofs. Oh dear, I don't. That's okay. It's the tail. It doesn't have to be perfectly proportioned. And the back hooves. I've never been the best at hoofs. I think that's all her parts. Q, what do you think? Yeah, I know, I'm out of practice, okay? Anyway, I think I could keep this going a little bit longer. I'm on a roll tonight. Does anyone else in chat have any requests? A pile of tribbles. I'm not going to do that tonight, okay? That's outside of my area of expertise. Not that I have an area of expertise. But yeah, I will draw you a pile of tribbles on a future stream. But before Q makes another request, I gotta ask, does anyone else have any requests? Oh, we gotta keep the show going. Q, you can make one more request. Anything you want. I'm not limiting your topics. But within reason. Oh, I never changed. I'm an idiot. I never put this in. So let me just for a minute, I will show you the character name. Because I'm an idiot and I never set that up. Alright, in that case, there's 2 more sketches I want to do. So I'm going to make the last call for chat requests. Does anyone in chat have anyone they want to see? I am closing the requests in a minute. And just so you can see the information for this last picture, here you go. Sorry about not changing Cheshire Cat to Sweetie Belle earlier. I didn't even catch that. This is my first sketch stream. So there's going to be small technical issues. I was so focused on the art itself that I forgot about the technical parts. Alright, requests closing. I am going to do 2 more pictures of my choice. Starting with, we're going to do one from Disney. And I'm just going to type Disney here, because this is going to be, and we'll switch. So we're going to do 2 more pictures tonight. I am going to try drawing a Disney villain. But before I actually populate his name, Let me look at the source. Let me look at the reference images and see if I think I can draw this guy. I think so, but the source images are kind of dark and I can't really see him in too much detail. So let me find one where I actually can see detail. You know what? No, that's not enough detail to make a convincing picture. Alright, I'm looking for source image for this character I want to draw. He's such an insane, epic character. And he doesn't look terribly difficult. It's just that all the source images are so dark and I can't really see the detail. If I was working with color, I could do a stylized, shadowy image, but I'm not really doing that style. As for his face, can I justify not really drawing facial detail? Not really, not. Give me a moment. I'll pick a source image. Okay, the head's a little muddy on this source image, but it's otherwise decent. Unless I just go for a shadow silhouette style, in which case detail isn't all that important. We can do that. We are going to do Chernobog from the Night on Bald Mountain sequence of Fantasia, because he's a fascinating character design. And the reference image I'm going from, it's kind of in a shadow pose, so there's not a lot of detail visible on his face. He's got these, alrighty, my shapes are a little bit off. He's got this ear, and I'll draw this ear a little bit bigger to match. And I'll muddle this line so it becomes kind of like the inside of the ear. Yeah, I think that's about as salvaged as that's going to be. And then he has these glowing yellow eyes, but I'm not working on color today. So there's a hint of eyes. And a hint of his nose. And you know, even though they're not visible in the shadow image, let's do his sharp pointy teeth. Just because there's not a lot of detail going on in this face in this image. There. That's good enough for the face. Because actually, the next picture I'm going to be doing, the final picture for the night that I've picked out, is in fact a humanoid. And then there's, for his body shape, there's just hints of folded out arms going on in this reference image. So nothing all that detailed. And I drew that line too straight, unfortunately, but there's nothing I can do about it now. That's what practices are for. And then so then there's this mountain under him because he comes out of the mountain. Ugh. Okay, I know it's not a perfect mountain, but hey, not everyone can be Bob Ross, okay? And now I'm just going to give the mountain a little more rocky detail. I'm just going random lines for this. And there's his elbow. And then I gotta draw the rest of his body coming down into the mountain. And let's actually make the hint of his arm a little bit longer. And wispy little clouds around him. He's got clouds all around his body. And you know what I'm forgetting? The biggest, most striking detail of Chernobog. His wings. And when daylight comes, he actually takes these wings and he wraps them around himself and he becomes the top of the mountain. And the wings are one of the more complicated things to draw in terms of Disney villains. Alright, let's... And then he has this line coming down like this. And then he has a couple lines coming up to the top of his wing like this. And now we have to give him the other wing. And the mountain, this mountain here, this is about as close as I've ever come to actually drawing scenery. But you can't really draw a Chernobog without the mountain because his lower body is the mountain. Yeah. And this is where, this is approximately where, if this was going to be a color picture, the colors would take... Oh, there's some nice clouds in this picture. I'm going to leave it as is for tonight. I think that's a good start to Chernobog for tonight. I'll draw him again in the future, probably. So what do you guys think of my Chernobog? Ah, cool. I like that you think it's cool. You know what? I'm going to do a bonus picture. I'm going to take you up on that request for a pile of tribbles. Just because. So there's going to be 2 more pictures tonight. We're doing a pile of tribbles. Q, you up for 2 more pictures tonight? This is probably going to suck, like, a lot, but I'm up for trying it. I'm on a roll tonight. Alright, what's the best way to do this picture? Okay, the first thing we're going to draw in this picture is not actually a tribble. Because in order to show off what it really is, we got to put a little person in there. And then I'm going to draw the tribbles around him. And the person is actually going to be a little bit of a good practice because my final sketch that I've planned is, in fact, a humanoid. And this isn't going to be the best looking human. It's probably going to look pretty trashy, actually. But the human's not the focus of this picture, so I'm okay with that. He almost looks like a Muppet face right now. But, again, things come with practice. Which is why, one of the reasons why I decided to throw the human into this picture is because I wanted that extra opportunity of practice. Man, I'm really blowing this hairdo. Let's see. His hairline comes up and around like this. Okay, we have a little bit of a Muppet crew member. That's okay. Q-Caller, did you know that they had Muppets serving in the crew aboard the Enterprise? Oh, that's good enough for the person. Let's give him some hair detail. And now he's got a little bit of a neck going, like this. Wow, I totally blew that neck. Whatever. Like I said, these things come with practice. And And I'll have to draw more fabric lines later, obviously. But hey, we did Star Wars and Star Trek tonight. Alright. He's got a hand. In his hand, he seems to be holding one of these little buggers. Yeah, that's the worst hand I ever drew. But it's late, I'm getting tired, and it's not exactly like I often draw a hand holding something. Most of my sketch experience is with the ponies, and I didn't really do a lot of pictures. Even when I was doing it regularly, I didn't do a lot of pictures where they were holding things. His thumb comes out and around like this. And he's holding a Tribble in his lap, kind of like this. I know, it's weak. But like I said, I haven't really done humans. When we do a picture where Captain Kirk is the main focus, you know that's going to be later on after I do have more practice with humans. Kirk deserves a proper portrait. We're doing this portrait because you wanted Tribbles. And he's knee deep in this pile, well, actually chest deep in this pile of Tribbles in this source image. And then his body comes down behind the sleeve like this. And there's more Tribbles down here. And the rest of this picture is just me drawing random Tribble lines behind him. There's another Tribble here. I know these don't look like perfect fluff balls. I'm going for the idea of trying to evoke the idea of them. If I took the time to draw every hairline I see in this reference image, we'll be here all night, so... Let's just block out Tribbles to the bottom edge of the page. And even in this reference image, they're all roughly the same size, but there is some slight variance. So I'm trying to reflect that with my little jigsaw of Tribbles here. I'm trying to make them relatively round, but with shaggy hairlines, like there in the reference. See? I'm okay with a little spontaneity in my streams. Yeah, he is a bit Muppet-like. So there you go. Captain Muppet Kirk, buried chest deep in a pile of Tribbles. Chakotay, yeah, I see that a little bit. But I don't think they ever did Tribbles on Voyager. Still, yeah. I gotta do more human practice anyway. So there. What do you think? I'm gonna pull up a reference image for my final sketch. Alright, I'm just looking for a source image for the final picture I want to draw. I'll leave them up. Yeah, that's not a good source image. Oof. Where is good source image? Come on, source material. You know what, this guy we're going to put on hold, so I'm going to pick something else to draw from that fandom. Let me see what else I can find here. What do I want to draw? Do I want to draw... That's a much better source. This guy has better source images. Let's go with this guy. Let me just find one that's high enough resolution to work with. I'm just trying to find a... Yeah, we'll go with that. It's the end of the night. I don't feel... I think Alpha and Beta are both widely explored by the Federation. But you're more of a Star Trek expert than I am. So let me go ahead and fill in the information. Because I do a lot of Morrowind on my stream, I'm about to draw a Morrowind character. And because I chose this character, I'm putting myself as the requester. That's how it works. I'm going to draw the Living God Vivek. Yeah. We're at an hour 17. This is going to be the last picture for tonight. Alright. So, he's got this head. Pretend that's symmetrical, because he's got this cool mirror effect on his body where he's like half dark elf and half gold elf. So if you know anything about the storyline of Morrowind, you know about the Tribunal, and Vivek is a living god who lives in his throne room in the city of Vivek. And if you don't know Morrowind, well, you should, because Morrowind is epic. That's not really supposed to look like a smile, but whatever. Let's start this little, and we're gonna draw. Yeah, he's got two colors going on his body. That's what that line is about. But let's go ahead and keep working. The other thing I wanted to draw from Morrowind, I'll hunt for other source material in my own time. He's got these little earrings. Looks like two on each ear. Alright. And then he's got this collar thing going on. Let me see if I can draw that. Because it looks... I never realized that the collar wasn't symmetrical. All these years. I never really gave him a close look. I mean, I had a general idea what he looked like, but... Wow, okay. And he's got this huge pauldron thing coming out. You know what? I'm really enjoying this art stream thing. I think I might do that again even this week. I said I was going to try doing it weekly, but I might do it a little bit extra this week because I want to get more practice so that I can get good and have really good art streams. Okay, and then there's this this piece of his collar has a little bit of a pattern going on, like so. And this isn't, his collar is not going to be perfect because there's so much little tiny detailing in it. And like I said, I've not really done a lot of experience with humans and humanoids. But Vivek is going to be our final sketch of tonight's stream because I am tired. And I've done, hold on. And this is the 7th sketch of the night after I was really only planning to do 5, so I've done a lot tonight. And every sketch counts as practice. Alright. And then from this piece of the collar, there's what looks like a gem right there. And then a little bit of a thing right here. And then there's kind of like that. And then it's his body. Let's see. He's mostly bare. He's got a lot of weird looking muscle action going. And I've never done muscle action before, even when I've done humans. Because every human that I have drawn before has been fully clothed. Okay, those are the weirdest muscles I've ever seen. I'm talking about my image. But like I said, I haven't really practiced muscles before. And he's kind of an elf, so his muscles aren't exactly the same as human muscles. But they're supposed to be similar. And then he has... And then he has this kind of belt thing going on down the middle. Let's finish drawing the little belt in. Alright, sorry about that, Q. AutoMod picked up a couple of your messages. But please, I don't want any pony spoilers until we see the movie, okay? Just like with Star Wars. When the Star Wars movies were being teased, I was avoiding all Star Wars sources on the internet until I saw the movie. For several months, I avoided Star Wars on the internet. And I'm doing the same with Pony, okay? So please, don't talk about new Pony. You can talk about old Pony all you want. I haven't changed anything in my mod settings from the default, so that might just be a Twitch default. So it's not anything that I set up because I haven't done my auto mod settings. Alright, let's draw his arms. And he has this cuff going on here. Wow. That's a poor looking hand, but I'm tired. So this is, even if I wanted to do another picture, I'm not even going to try because you can see from that hand just how tired I'm getting. But we will give Vivek a proper finish. And you know what? I think I might set up a Discord server for my stream where I can post images. I can do a channel just to show off the images from the art streams. And there'll be a channel for discussion, stream ideas, things like that. What kind of Morrowind adventures would you like me to go on? Yeah. There'll be a whole channel just dedicated to Morrowind. And there'll be a channel dedicated to Star Wars discussion and Disney discussion as well. Wow, this is totally lopsided. I am not doing the arms and hands well at all. Vivek is supposed to be symmetrical. And I do not... Well... Well, like I said, I don't really have a lot of practice with humans. Let's draw some of these muscle lines in. Those are the worst arm muscle. Alright, pretend he's wearing some kind of bracer or something, because those don't look like muscle lines. Now, legs. Okay, he's got this little loincloth thing that he wears under his belt. I didn't draw that hand going down far enough, apparently. So, we're going to have to take some liberties with body geometry, I guess. I totally drew that line where it's not supposed to. Crap. Well, he was going well, up until it got to his lower body. Sorry about that. We'll draw Vivek again in a future stream when I'm not as tired and can do him justice, but... he's kind of a weird guy even in the real thing, so... let's draw a few of these muscle lines in. And... let's try to salvage his other leg. Man, I've totally lost all sense of symmetry on this. Well, what do you think of him from the waist up? I'll ask you that. Let's draw in the muscle lines. He's got a little bit of a muscle line going on down here as well. Yeah, that's the worst Vivek sketch I've ever... well, from the waist down is the worst Vivek sketch I've ever seen, but... like I said, humans and humanoids will take some practice. Which is why, kind of why I wanted to do this guy when I couldn't do the other guy because I couldn't find a source. So before before I kill stream today, I'm just going to show off everything that I did today, and then we'll go ahead and find somebody to raid. Let's take a look and see if anyone's on. Yeah, I see who we're going to raid today. But first, I'm going to show off everyone we did today. And let me go ahead and reset these to blank for the next stream. Yeah, we can raid Naren, but I want to show these off real quick. I think I want to finish all Arch streams with a recap. So we opened with this picture of Eevee from Pokemon. And then we drew Grogu from Star Wars The Mandalorian. And then we drew Cheshire Cat from Disney's Alice in Wonderland. And then we drew Sweetie Belle from My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. And then we drew Chernabog from Disney's Fantasia. And then we drew Captain Kirk with his pile of tribbles from Star Trek The Original Series. And then we finished with Vivek, the one of the tribunal gods from Morrowind. So that's our sketch, that's our work for today. Once I figure out how I'm going to show these online, I'll go ahead and scan these and put these up. And with that, we're going to raid into... Let me go ahead and set up a raid. Tonight, we'll be raiding Nerendipity, a musician, streamer. In a couple moments, let me just get this set up. Raid. Alright, the raid is setting up. We'll be going over there in just a moment. I'll see you guys soon. I'll probably stream a couple times this week. We'll definitely do some art. We'll do more Morrowind this week. Maybe some more Bakugan rolling practice. Have a good night, everyone.
I bet that she knows Billy Joe, 'cause you played her uptown girl, you singing it.